Hi, well, now it is day 16 of the Tour de Fleece, and I was just looking at what I spun up yesterday. So this is a silk that I finished up yesterday. I think I even said that yesterday it was day 14. I was definitely in weekend mode. It was definitely day 15 yesterday, day 16 today. So I have been out. I've been out for a walk with a dog, and we went for a lovely leisurely Sunday walk, and now I am back to do a little bit of working out what I'm going to do next with my spinning. So like as I was saying, here we have the silk. So you can see let's see if I can get down here close. You can see I've got a whole range of colours in there. We've got like some lovely deep reddy, kind of reddy maroony colours. We've got some greys, we've got some kind of yellowy orangey colours. I went looking in my stash to see what I could find, and coming over here I will show you what I found. So remember when I was saying before that I didn't have much fibre in my stash? Well, that is kind of true, but also not true, because I did actually find a little bit more. What I have done is first of all, actually I'll show you the colours. I found this is a box here that's full of different colours. I found this box here, which is not going to go with my silk, but look what I found. Oh, I found more Angora, and this Angora is actually from my my rabbit smoky. So there's, I think, 3 bags in there. So I was thinking I could actually get around to spinning that, because that is in long. There is enough of that, like the staple of these quite long, or long, at least long enough to spin. So I've got that. I found the cotton that I was talking about yesterday. So this is cotton and silk noils. So there's 75 grams there of this. So I could have a go at spinning that. Silk and cotton, that would be lovely and interesting to spin. I don't know what I would do with that, or what I would whether I just spin it by itself or apply it with something else. I don't know, but that's silk and cotton. And then of course here is the big box. Well, not the big box, but what I have done with this little box here is I have put in here leftover little bits of colour. So first of all, remembering that this is the silk that I'm trying to match, so I thought I would spin a single of wool to go with that. So I've come across my reds, but not the reds. I did have a couple more reds, but they were kind of like quantity amounts, enough that I would like to keep to spin, you know, for a project, whereas these were just like leftover. There's all the different colours, but I'll show you those later. But starting with these reds here, so my end decision was I found these two, well, not end decision, but there's 2 different reds here. I don't know if you can see particularly well. Maybe if I try and bring it over to here in the sun. Right. Can we? Okay. Can you see much of a difference? There's not a huge difference, but one's... I'm going to show you. Here we are. So the one on the right is a little bit more orangey red, and the one on the left is more of a blue red. So they're ones that I had little bits of. I'm thinking about maybe, I haven't even had a look at this myself yet. These are the colours that I was thinking about trying to put or apply with this. What are we thinking? Do I think that this would work? A mixture of this red. Oh, it's a bit hard to do this one-handed. Got that one, and then if I just pop that one over that side. So they're the 2 reds in here. I think this one works a bit better, but considering I don't really have a great amount of either, I thought I might try and mix, like do a bit, spin a bit of this one and then a bit of this one. bit of this one, bit of that one, kind of just mix and match, because the silk is a bit mixy matchy. But I think that might hopefully be okay. So I mean, I think I'm thinking an overall red kind of theme for the silk, because when I look at it, it's kind of a pinky kind of red, but I think applied with a red it might be quite nice. Otherwise, I couldn't really find any other colours that I thought would be good to apply it with. And since I'm trying to just work through stuff that's in my stash, I don't have enough of these reds, and I don't have any other reds that I could really work with it. Now, while we're on the topic, I'll just come back over here for a minute. I'll take the red out. That's the other red. So in here is my little box, which I'm starting to collect, and I don't know if I'll end up doing this for the Tour de Femme, which starts on the 1st of August. But in here you can see I've just got leftover bits and pieces. So there's a merino tops, so it's like a, you know, it's not really showing, it's showing it up a bit more bluer on the camera, but that's a bit of a greeny blue. I've got a little tiny bit of some sort of a long locks in here. I've got a little bit of yellow. I've got some aquarine blue. I've got some mixed bits of, what have we got in here? Mohair. I think these are all little bits that were left over from when I was felting. So, you know, I could put that through my carder. I've got kind of a bit of a browny, yellowy mix there. That's not really all that interesting to me, but maybe if I add it. And then I did find, remember I was talking yesterday about doing a bit of a breed study, and what I might do is I might just move this box out of the way. I found two, well actually I found another one, but I don't know where it is, but from a different breed. I found some, I'm sorry about the crunching noise, I found this, if I can show you. So, curly wool long locks from Jen Annington. I have no idea how long I have had these. I obviously bought these quite a long time ago, and I haven't tried them yet. So there's a little bit of a colour in there. There is, that's might be easier to see. I've got some of the long locks. I have another one here. I don't know if this is exactly the same. Maybe it is. They look about the same, don't they? So, so Jen lives in the north of Tasmania, and she has a lot of long lock and rare breed kind of sheep. I'm not exactly sure how many or what the breed, what exactly which breeds she has, but you could always go on and have a look, go online and have a look at what she has. But so that could go towards my little spinning study that I'm hoping to do. I haven't quite worked out how many breeds or what breeds I'm going to have a go at spinning, but hopefully I'll have enough, I'll spin enough of each breed that I could say maybe even just do like a square or something for a blanket, and that would be probably a nice way to showcase the samples, because I feel like I don't want to just make a whole heap of samples and not do anything with them. That's not the point of doing it. But yes, so there we are. That's where I'm up to at the moment. So here's my little chair of goodies at the moment. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this, start spinning up this red, these two reds, and see how I go. And I will talk to you later in the day, see what I've got up to. Hi everyone, it is Kathy, and I am back again after doing my little intro earlier, showing you all the fleece that I was spinning. I thought I would just do a little video, show you how much I've got done so far. Having trouble finding a good angle to be able to show you me and the spinning, as to why the last few days I haven't really been in shot very much. What I'm going to do is I was planning to just do a little bit of this spinning here, and then I'll try and do a close-up and see if I can show you my blending on the go of these two colours, these two reds that I'm doing. You can probably see here that I've done a fair bit. I've got a little bit here, and oh, excuse me, I've just got, that's all I've got left. So I have broken everything up and I'm going to add it. I'm kind of hoping that I'm going to show here, look, I'm kind of hoping that those two colours will look quite nice together. I know the red is going to be very dominant for the silk, but I love this reddy colour. I love these two reds, so I'm really looking forward to putting the two reds, well, putting the reds with it. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with it, of course, like most things. Just checking to make sure I haven't got more. No, so this is all I've got left. But what I'll do is I'll do a close-up. I've had to close the curtains as well to take this video. But yes, I'll open the curtains, continue spinning, and I'll see if I can get a close-up of my very basic blending technique. Okay, so I'm back again. I hopefully do my little close-up video here to show you. So don't know if you can see, so that is one of the colors and that is the other color. You can see there is a slight difference, this one of course being slightly more orangey and this one being an amazing fantastic red that I think originally I had bought some of this for felt, or I think most of this I had bought for felting when I was felting hats and selling them. But I really like this red, and I would actually I would love to have probably a jumper in this red, but putting these two colours together actually turns out looks really nice. I really like the outcome. So what I have done is I have split most of these, as I was saying, I've only got a little bit left now. So let's just see. I've got more of this deep red than I have of the orange. That's the deep red. So all that I have been doing really is I've been taking, oops, yeah, so if you can see here, I've got one colour and here is the other colour. So I've just kind of broken them up, put them together like this at the top where you can't really see. I've just kind of teased them out a bit so they're a little bit easier to draft. And then I have just, you probably don't know if you can see, but on one side is one colour, on the other side is the other colour. And then I am just spinning like that. Sometimes there's more of one colour than there is of the other, and that doesn't matter. And sometimes I've spun just a bit of one colour and not the other. That as well doesn't worry me. I don't know if you can kind of see here that it gives you a slightly mottled effect. I don't know, it's a bit hard maybe to see, but that's kind of the effect that I'm going for, which I really like. It kind of gives it a nice rich sort of a colour, and it's a little bit random in terms of which is the dominant colour and which isn't, but it seems to be working. It's working for me and I'm happy with it. If I wanted to get a better blend, I would use either my drum carder or my new blending board, which I've just recently bought. I had spent years thinking about, and I do many years thinking about whether or not I was going to get a blending board. One came up, a second-hand one came up quite cheaply, so I thought, yes, I will buy it, because I mean, the reason I hadn't bought one in the past is the price, like with everything to do with spinning and fibre, everything. Once upon a time things were really cheap, but now they're just, oh, I don't know, it just seems to be, everything seems to be so expensive. And even little things like I looked at the flick harder to get a flick harder to go with the blending board, and that was like, I think it's like 34 Australian dollars, and I was thinking like, oh my gosh, $34 just for a little flick harder. I've got a flick harder, but apparently the flick harder for the blending board, which is what you use to brush down the fibres, the tines or the little teeth kind of go the opposite way, so you have to make sure it goes in the same direction that you're combing your fibres onto the blending board. So the blending board teeth and the flicker teeth all have to, you don't want them fighting against each other, if you know what I mean. So they all have to face the same way, which apparently is the opposite way to a normal flick carder. But anyway, I wasn't going to pay $34 for a little hand carder for my blending board, so I'm sure I will find something that I can use equally as well for that. That won't cost so much money. But I guess that's just how things are these days. Everything is so expensive. Just adding in a bit more of this red. Run out of my favourite red. So I'm just going to keep going like this for the rest of the afternoon. It is now kind of mid-afternoon. I've just been out in the garden. Started off, I just went out to feed the fish. We've got fish outside, and then I thought I'd better water a few pot plants, and then of course that led to a few weeds, and then a few, well actually it was kind of funny, not funny but interesting, 3 of my bigger trees in the backyard, like, so 2 gum trees, so they're kind of still smallish gum trees, but they ones that we have kind of lopped back a little bit, so they're not, you know, they're not very old and they're not very tall. 2 gum trees and another kind of native hop bush all have big huge holes dug just on the side of their trunk, and they're all in a row, like all the trees are kind of like, you know, like if you look at them, yeah, they're in a linear line. There are smaller bushes in between them that haven't been touched, but these 3 have, yeah, big huge holes right at on their trunks in the ground. And I'm kind of thinking it might be the echidna, but then I don't know what else it could possibly be. But it's just strange that they're all in a straight line, as in, I mean, there are lots of other trees and bushes around in there that nothing else seems to be touched. And usually the echidna, when the echidna goes snuffling around, he usually goes along, you know, borders and places like that, and rocks where the ants are. But this seems a bit different. So anyway, I'll keep an eye on those trees to make sure that they're okay, that nothing has, like they haven't got damaged or anything like that. Not that I think an echidna could damage a big tree like that, but who knows. I'm just going to, so now here, oh sorry, chatting away here about being in the garden, but so now I've only got this bit of this red and quite a bit of my other lovely red left. So what I might do is, I thought I might just split this up into smaller pieces, so you know, so that can go with that, and then maybe if I just split this in bits as well, then maybe I could just kind of give it a bit of, okay, so that's one lot there. That one's done, and then I just need to try and somehow, oh, maybe I'll split this one again and then try and add it together. It's going to be very red, that one, but that's okay. And then I'll just have this little bit left over. That's okay. I might just spin a little bit of just red at the moment, and then come back to the mixed red and orange. So yes, getting back to, I mean, I love being in the garden, and I have always loved being in gardens, and my kind of a garden, or favourite kind of garden, is one you can just meander around. Not straight lines, not, I like a hidden path, a path with a corner, so you don't know what's around the corner. I like a little unkept, I don't like a very ordered garden in terms of everything in straight rows. I like it a little bit natural looking, a little bit hard to kind of create that in a way. I feel where we are at the moment, because I mean it's so much smaller than the kind of garden size that we had previously when we were on acreage, but also one thing I have learned about the garden, doesn't matter where you live, is that symmetry is very hard to create in a garden unless you put a lot of time and effort into it, in terms of sometimes you can have two plants. Like I remember I used to try and get on our previous house, on our driveway, I used to like to try and get, you know, a tree, the same sort of tree on either side of the driveway, so you'd have a bit of symmetry. One would do really well and the other one would die or would struggle, and in the end I decided best not to go with symmetry. Just and I try not to fight the plants either, in terms of if they're not going to grow, or they really don't want to grow in my garden, I need to find something that will grow and grow to love it. Having said that though, the one exception for me is rhododendrons and azaleas, because I absolutely love rhododendrons and azaleas, or probably and camellias as well, and we do not live in an area that is a very, very good area for rhododendrons and azaleas. We live very close to the beach. Rhododendrons, azaleas like more of a mountainy, slightly cooler, higher altitude-y kind of not sand like we've got, but I am still fighting ahead. I have to have at least one or two rhododendrons and azaleas, because I just love them so much. Okay, so that's the red I have finished, and now I will just go back to spinning my two colours together. I'm going to just tease them out a little bit so that they're a little bit easier to draft, and I'm not fighting against the tops while I'm spinning, and then that will hopefully make it easier for them to blend together as well while I'm spinning. I don't know, this is probably not all that interesting for you to watch, but this is just what I'm going to be doing this afternoon. It's already looking quite peaceful and lovely outside. It's been very overcast today, and where I'm sitting at the moment I can see the water, and how do I describe it to you? Well, there is the Blue Mountains, not as in Blue Mountains in New South Wales, but the hills I'm looking at are blue. We've got the clouds, like very light grey clouds, and then a very light apricot colour just above the hills, which is interesting because it's not quite sunset yet, but there is a lovely reflection on the water, so there's a lovely kind of light orangey, I guess, reflection on the water. And yeah, it feels a lot later than it is, but this always feels like this in winter. Winter always, the day seems to end before it should. But yes, I'm going to sit here, enjoy the little bit of the view. I'm going to finish spinning this. Hopefully, if I have time, I will try and ply. Oh, you can't even see. You can't even see the bobbin. I will try and ply up the bobbin and oh, sorry, I've got a bit of fibre in my mouth. There's nothing worse than having a bit of fibre in the mouth. Maybe I can tip my wheel forward. Oh, there you go. So there we go. I don't know how well you can see that, but that is looking really nice and colourful. I can actually see the difference. I don't know if you can see the difference here. That's just the straight red that I just spun, and that's the kind of like two-toned red and slightly reddy orange. It's a lovely combination, I think. Oh, I feel like I'm going to have to go out and try and find those two colours again. I might need to have to save a bit of the orange and a bit of the red so I can go and see if I can buy it again or find the name. Anyway, I'm going to finish there. Unless I ply it together and show you a little video at the end of that, I will say goodbye now and talk to you later. Okay, just a very, very quick little video here to show you. This is what I have plied up so far. I have run out of the red wool, and I still have, oh, if I can show you. So I still have this much left of the silk. So I'm going to have to decide what I'm going to do. Whether I break off my yarn, I've still got the silk attached, whether or not I use one of my other wheels to spin up some red that I have and keep plying. Well, not tonight. I'm going to finish now, but anyway, that's where I'm up to, and I'll let you all know later.